excited again to be here. Our premiere show went so well, and I'm here with my producer, V. Hello, V. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Excellent.
What do we have today?
Well, today we are having some pizza pockets, and they are a chicken pizza pocket with a basil cream sauce, and they are so good. And I am actually going to make some homemade pizza dough. And one of the things that I want to tell everybody about Cannabis Cooking with Krisey D is I want to teach everybody not only to cook with CBD and THC, but I want to try to teach everybody about cooking simplistically. So many times people make cooking kind of a hassle, and that is the one thing that I want to try to make really clear to people is that cooking does not have to be a hassle. We want to make cooking fun. Plus, this is a cannabis show, and what better thing to have when you're partaking, so to speak, than a pizza. And these are so easy, they are so fantastic, and anybody can make these. And I'm not really one to sit there with measuring cups, measuring spoons, and all that. However, I will give you basic, this is how much you use here, this is how much you use there, how much of each ingredient to use so that you can prepare these things at home. But I'm not one to sit there with a bunch of measuring cups and spoons, because that is part of what I want to teach everybody is let's make cooking fun, let's make it simplistic, let's make it something that everybody can do, and I'm going to show you how to do that on Cannabis Cooking with Krisey D. And the first thing that I want to mention is we are so excited to have CannaSense, and we want everybody to get excited about CannaSense. If you go to CannaSense's webpage, www.cannasense, you will be able to actually sign up as a patient in all 50 states. And you did hear me correctly. Even if you live, now I want everybody to hear this very clearly because this is extremely important. Even if you live in a state where cannabis is not legal, because of the Affordable Care Act, you are now able to sign up as a patient or get your membership through CannaSense. And you are able to have your medicine, your cannabis, your CBD, your THC delivered right to your door because of CannaSense. And their website at www.cannasense.com is able to provide you all of the literature you need in order to explain why this is possible. So in this bowl right here, for the actual pizza dough, I have 2 cups of just all-purpose flour. And then there's about a teaspoon of just regular granulated salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and pretty much that is it. That is your flour base for the dough. Then in this bowl right here, you're going to take 1 cup of warm water. And then you're going to take yeast. You can buy yeast in a container, and in your warm water, we're talking room temperature water, you're going to put 2 tablespoons of yeast in the water, and you're going to dissolve that yeast into the water for about 5 minutes. Mine's been sitting here for quite a while, but once yeast is activated, you can just have it sit. So after you have your yeast and your flour incorporated, and the yeast is activated, and I'm going to move this over really fast because we're going to work on the dough really quick before we get to the chicken. This is where we are going to incorporate the CBD and the THC, because you need approximately 4 tablespoons of olive oil or just regular oil. So instead of doing that, we're going to use the THC and the CBD, which is the greatest thing in the world. So we're going to do about 3 tablespoons of the CBD and the THC into the yeast mixture because it's already activated, and basically that is your dough. So that is how you can incorporate your CBD and your THC into your dough, where you're basically going to get your bang, so to speak. Then in your dough mixture, you're going to just put a hole right in the middle, right in the center of your dough, and you're going to start to put some of this mixture in. And with your hands, you're just going to slowly start to incorporate this until it starts to form a ball. And everybody's seen pizza dough before, so you know that it gets sticky and starts to form a ball. So once it starts to form a ball like this, you know you got to add a little bit more. Keep on working it in until you get a nice sticky ball. And if you get too much in it, you may not have to use all of that. Like I'm getting a nice sticky ball now. Another thing that I did add to my pizza dough was I added some garlic powder and I added some seasoned salt, because I wanted to have some seasoned pizza dough. And this is what you're left with. You're left with a sticky ball, because we're going to be taking this and turning it out on a little bit of flour. You're going to turn out just a little bit of flour on here. Roll your ball in the flour. Just enough to turn this to where you can flip it like this so that it doesn't stick to your fingers anymore. There you go. That was as easy as it gets. Now you've got a nice sticky pizza dough ready to make your pockets. It smells wonderful. Keep kind of working it, and we're done. Voila, there's your dough. I'm going to start heating up my pans. I have one pan here that is for my chicken, and one pan here really fast that is going to be for my white basil cream sauce. And we're going to fill these pizza pockets with sauteed chicken and white cream sauce with oyster, mushrooms, and onion. So I've got that all right here. And I've got my oven going, by the way, at 425 degrees for the pizza pockets. So once I've got these kind of hot, I'm going to reduce the heat down to medium heat on both. And on this particular one for the sauce, you're going to add about 3 tablespoons of butter for the sauce. So because we've got that going, and you're also going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter for the chicken. So really quick, I'm going to cube my chicken, and I've got 2 chicken breasts here. And we're going to turn this one way down because I'm working on my chicken breast really quick. I'm just going to cube my chicken really fast. 2 chicken breasts, cubed.
And, you know, the thing I like about Cannabis Cooking is that they have so much information, so many resources. You go to their website, you know, they have a section here where you are indigent, you have indigent needs, meaning, you know, you don't have a lot of money, but you are in need. You can visit the site and get information there to be helped and get resources, to get knowledge about resources.
They
They've
have
got cancer research, they've got children's needs, they've got wellness centers, they have veterans needs, and my favorite, they have legal defense, because having cannabis sense, you're protected by the Constitution through this organization. If you have any problems with your local authorities, you're a cannabis member, you have cannabis products, there's a legal team for you.
absolutely.
No cannabis customer has ever been prosecuted under law. Never.
And that's a really nice thing, is if you do live, like I said, if you do live in a state where cannabis is not legal, you can receive your cannabis legally. And by the way, right here, I have about 4 whole garlic cloves, and I've cut them, and now I am dicing them really fine. And in this pan right here, I've diced my chicken really fine, just in cubes, and I'm dicing this garlic up, and I'm going to add this garlic to the chicken, but I'm only going to add half of it, because I want to put half in my sauce and half in my chicken. Now this right here, this is an interesting little thing right here. This is called an oyster mushroom. These things are wonderful. And I'm going to dice up this oyster mushroom. And this oyster mushroom is going to go into the cream basil sauce, which is going to go into the pizza pockets. Instead of having a red sauce for the pizza pockets, we're making a white cream sauce for the inside of the pizza pockets, which has the butter, the garlic, the onion, and the basil. And this basil, by the way, is sweet basil, and I'm actually growing sweet basil in my own garden outside. So this came from my garden outside. I grow herbs in my garden, and this is my first harvest from my garden outside. So I'm really excited about that, because every year I plant fresh herbs, and I was so happy this morning to be able to go out there and pick my own sweet basil out of my little herb garden. So this is my first harvest. So we've got the oyster mushrooms, the sweet basil, the garlic, which is already sauteing in the pan. Cut this up really fine, because remember, we're making a cream sauce. And then here's your onion. Dicing up this onion. And you want to just really dice this onion up real fine. Now, what I like to do, just to make things simplistic, is I always take my ingredients here that are going to go in a saute pan, and I add my salt, my pepper, whatever I'm going to do on top of what I'm making on a cutting board. And the reason I do that is it kind of helps you to adjust your seasoning. You kind of know how much salt and pepper you would want if you were kind of eating this on a salad. You know, okay, hey, look, I've got this much. How much salt and pepper would I use if I had this on a plate? That's a good way to judge. So I'm going to take my salt and pepper, and I'm going to put that on there. And then I'm going to transfer this into my saute pan for the cream sauce. Now I'm going to hike this heat back up a little bit. This is a white cream sauce, but I'm going to add just a little bit. We're talking about maybe 4 tablespoons, maybe, of tomato sauce to the white cream sauce, just for the flavor. I'm going to give my chicken a toss here. That's just the chicken. I'm going to add salt. Pepper.
The good thing about cooking like this is that you can season to your own taste, because you can say measurements. You can say a pinch of salt, you can say a tablespoon, a teaspoon of salt or pepper, but the taste really depends on the person.
Absolutely.
They like, and then on top of that, the person can say, hey, this is my recipe, even though they've learned to eat with you.
Well, another thing about that, I'm glad you said that, is I still have my bud mix here, and you can go ahead, if you'd like, and add a bud mix to this as well, if you'd like, because everybody's tolerance is different as well. So you could go ahead and add your bud to this cream sauce if you'd like. You don't have to just use the THC or the CBD. You could go ahead and incorporate the bud as well. The one good thing that I have tried to reiterate to people about Cannabis Cooking with Krisey D is that you don't have to be a user of CBD, THC, or bud in order to enjoy the show. Pretty much anybody can enjoy the show, because we're learning how to cook. We're enjoying cooking here. Anybody can enjoy cooking, regardless of whether you partake in CBD and THC. It's not just for people that partake. We're doing some serious cooking here, so anybody and everybody can enjoy the show. Now, we've got all of our ingredients in here. Now, one of the things that we have to add into this white cream sauce, and this is a very, very important step in this cream sauce, is whipping cream and white cooking wine. And one element about adding whipping cream and white cooking, not so much the wine, but the whipping cream, is whipping cream can curdle. It can. So the way that you keep that from happening is, once you have this marinated, you're going to turn the heat down so that when you add your whipping cream, it doesn't curdle. So you have your temperature up too high and you add the whipping cream, it will cause the whipping cream to curdle, and you don't want to do that. So we're going to turn this down, get that temperature to lower just a little bit. And before I add this, as the temperature starts to go down here, I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of white cooking wine. Oh my gosh. This smells so good. Now if you can see this chicken simmering. Now these are little pieces of chicken. So it's not going to take forever for these little chicken pieces to cook. Not to mention, you're still going to be baking these chicken pockets as well. So it's not going to take forever for these chicken pieces to cook. So now that we've got the temperature down on the sauce, we're going to add the heavy cream. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Look at that. If you could smell this. Now what happens, I don't know about you, but you're around your friends, or even if you're not, and after you've used, partaken, whatever the case may be, what happens? The good old munchies. And you're sitting there thinking, what can I have? Normally, if you're anything like me, the good old telephone comes out, you're dialing up Pizza Hut, or you're getting in the car, heading down the street trying to find something to stick in your mouth. And I cannot think of anything better than to be sitting there having your own little party with your friends, making these pizza pockets and sticking these in your mouth and actually knowing how to create something this wonderful. Not only this wonderful, but having the use of THC and CBD. Now, when you see how these things come together, you have this cream sauce. This stuff, you know, I almost feel guilty.
What's that?
Because this stuff smells so good, and nobody but me can smell it or taste it. It's just almost horrid. It really is.
I thought you were referring to the fact that I have to watch you cook, and then afterwards I always find myself trying to cook something, trying to get the cravings out of me, trying to satisfy whatever cravings you've instilled in me.
Well, you know, hopefully, you know, that's what we're doing on this show is, you know, stimulating some people to want to make some dishes that they normally would not make. This is the easy part. You're just going to just snip off some dough. First, you want to just take some cooking spray, spray your pan, take some dough, and all you're going to do literally is just press the dough down on your pan. That's all you're going to do. Don't make it complicated because it's not. Lift that up, and you got your sauce, some of that sauce, and you're going to pour some of that sauce right onto that pizza pocket. And of course, there goes that chicken. Right on the top. Next, I've got cheese. What is anything without cheese? Right on top. Now, all you're going to do is you're just going to start pressing and folding these things together. Once you have it together on one side, flip it. Just like that. Look at that, you're done. So you're pinching off dough, and you're just pressing into your greased cookie sheet. You're going to add your cream sauce. And there goes your chicken. And here's your cheese. And you're just folding from every corner until everything meets in the middle. Once you've got everything to meet in the middle, and because the dough is sticky, it'll meet itself in the middle. Once everything meets in the middle, flip it. There's another pocket right there. Now these are what these pockets look like before. Now we're going to pop these in the oven, 425 degrees, for about 10 to 15 minutes. Look at that. Look at that. These things are amazing.
And I'm so happy for CannaSense because, you know, it's their mission statement to educate potential and existing patients on the benefits of medical cannabis and how to safely and legally access it at an affordable price. I mean, this is for seniors, veterans, disabled people, and almost anyone seeking pain relief. You know, they could potentially benefit from a variety of different kinds of medical cannabis that they provide. I mean, CannaSense is so huge that they have different vendors that work with them. It's wonderful.
This is absolutely. Look at that. This is homemade pizza dough with a white cream basil sauce pizza pocket with oyster mushrooms. That is a little piece of heaven in Castle Rock, Colorado right here. Thank you so much for joining me and V for Cannabis Cooking with Krisey D. Thank you very much.